This is an abomination. This is an abomination. This is an abomination. And what do you think of my hat? The hat is on for a reason. The hat is on for a reason. The hat is on for a reason. And let me tell you why. It has now been one season. It has now been one season. It has now been one season that Fukushima is killing us. Fukushima is killing us for the duration of one season. If you don't think I know about radiation, let me tell you a story. This is an abomination. This is an abomination. This is an abomination. And let me tell you why. I went to aviation. I went to aviation. I went to aviation high school. And I graduated with 2 licenses. One was an airframe, one was a power plant. And during the course of the time I studied to learn how to be a jet mechanic, I learned about radiation and how radiation goes through floors and walls and doors and windows, because radiation travels at a very high frequency. And if there were little particles of atoms that were in the way of a radiation wave, it would go around them somehow because of the frequency of the waves. So I went to aviation high school, and also I know about the abomination. I know about the abomination. I know about the abomination because aside from that, I went to Robert H. Goddard Junior High School. I went to Robert H. Goddard Junior High School. It's located on Lafayette Street in Queens, and I graduated from there. And Mr. Carbo taught me about nuclear physics, and Mr. Carbo taught me about nuclear physics. He explained to me the waves. He explained to me the waves. They go through anything, and anything they hit, they go around. You cannot stop the radiation. You cannot stop the radiation. You cannot stop the radiation. And let me tell you why. There is an abomination in the White House. There is an abomination in the White House. There is an abomination in the White House. And here are 2 more of my buttons from the Geo store, from Aviation High School, where I learned about radiation. Those are more buttons from aviation. And let me tell you this. I can see into the future. I can see into the future. I have a pair of abomination glasses that allow me to see into the future. You might not think so. You might not think so. But I can see the future. And we are all going to die. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter how. It really doesn't matter how. But this is what I'm doing now. I know that you think that there might be a possibility that I might be slightly nuts. But you're wrong, folks. I'm not nuts. I am just so far ahead of the rest of the pack. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And let me tell you why. I can tell you why very simply. You might not think so, and there are other people that might not think so, but this broom allows me to go into the past. If I put it in this configuration, this is the configuration to see the past, and I have seen that Obama is not releasing the amount of radiation coming from Fukushima from the past, and this is when I can see the now. This is the now. That's right. This is the now, because Obama is not telling us about the radiation now. And this is the future. This is the future that proves we're all going to die. That proves we're all going to die. That proves we're all going to die. But we're going to die from radiation. You have to die of something. You have to die of something. You have to die of something. So even if you don't think it's fair, let me tell you now, there is no more justice. There is no more justice. There is only the dildo burgers. The dildo burgers control the world. The dildo burgers control the world. The dildo burgers control the world. And they have special symbols. This is one of the symbols. This is one of the symbols. This is one of the symbols. Aside from the menorah that they put in front of the White House every year, this symbol and the manure that they put in front of the White House every year represents the dildo burgers, represents the dildo burgers. It represents the dildo burgers, the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. Those are the people that make the bombs. Those are the people that make the machines that make the bombs. Those are the people that make the metal that make the machines that make the bombs. Those are the people that make the rubber they put on the machines that make the metal that make the bombs. Those are the people in charge. Those are the people in charge. The dildo burgers run the show, and this show has been scripted. The show has been scripted. The show has been scripted. The show has been scripted because I went to aviation high school, and the show has been scripted for at least 7,000 years. The show has been scripted like a giant movie plot. You might not think so, you might not think so, you might not think so, but let me tell you why. There is a codex I discovered, there is a codex I discovered, there is a codex I discovered, and it has to do with 3,300 pictographs on the reverse and obverse of the $1 bill. The codex is directly related to the Bible. The codex is directly related to the Bible. The codex is directly related to the Bible by a series of beings that we know not. We don't know what they were. I don't know what they were. They were either God or God-like, or they pretended to be God or God-like. I don't know how they accomplished this, but I can tell you that the so-called glory that sets upon the eagle's head is a nuclear detonation. And this nuclear detonation has been proven time and time again by people that I have discussed this with and understand the difference between a nuclear radiation and a glory. You see, there's a difference. One discharges particles in straight beams of light, that's a glory. And one disperses particles in an explosive fashion. This is a detonation. This is a detonation. It's going to kill our nation. When you turn it upside down, you have an Indian chief. The Indian chief with the bow and arrows represents war and death. Everything inside the evil seed of death represents death and destruction. Nothing inside the evil seed of death represents life. Nothing inside the evil seed of death represents life. Nothing inside the evil seed of death represents life. It all has to do with death. There is no water. There is no light. There is no earth. There's nothing green. Everything is dead. Everything is life. Everything is life. Everything is life. Everything inside the Great Pyramid is the first 17 verses of Genesis. Everything inside the Great Pyramid represents the first 17 verses of Genesis. There is water, there is land, there is light, there is oceans, there is skies, there is heaven, there is a fruit-bearing tree with the seed within a seed, there is tall grass which represents the grass, and there is herb that represents the herb next to the tall grass. Ladies and gentlemen, I have found the codex between the Bible and the $1 bill. It proves that there were aliens or a race of beings that created all of this. When they created all of this, when they created all of this, when they created all of this, they put it in a codex. The codex they put in the Bible, the codex they put in the Bible. They put the codex in the Bible, and they made the $1 bill. When they made the $1 bill, they put the codex in the Bible. They did all of this 7,000 years ago, and then they pretended to be God. The God that we believe in, the God that we believe in, put the codex in the Bible, and then he made the bill. No man with a 12th grade education, no man with a 12th grade education, no man with a 12th grade education could understand Euclidean optics. I understand Euclidean optics. I understand Euclidean optics. There are only a few people in the world that understand Euclidean optics, and I am one of them. There are even less people that can make it, and no one in 1934 could do that. No one in 1934 could do that. So how do you think all of these pictographs got on the reverse and the obverse of the $1 bill, folks? With a codex directly related to the Bible. It is impossible. It is impossible. It's part of a plan that goes back 7,000 years before the pyramids were built. 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 And what do you think of my hat? Let me tell you about my hat, folks. Let me tell you about my hat, folks. Let me tell you about my hat, folks. It allows me to become a Jewish cowboy. I am a Jewish cowboy. I am a Jewish cowboy. I am a Jewish cowboy. And I have a box from the Gemological Society from 1963. I am a Jewish cowboy. I am a Jewish cowboy. That makes me smarter than you because I am, and that's the truth. And ladies and gentlemen, prove me wrong. I have put out the challenge worldwide and globally for anybody to unprove what I said is true. Prove me wrong. Take some theologian anywhere in the world and take that theologian and put him anywhere and I'll go meet him and tell him to prove me wrong. But he can't because I am a Jewish cowboy and I need a bigger camera. I need a bigger camera. And what do you think of that?